I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime, and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
Everything is so expensive right now, and I don't understand how people aren't talking about it. We don't make enough money. Collectively, we do not make enough money. The price of things are not keeping up with how much we're getting paid. And it's infuriating to me for people to say that people just need to work harder, people need to get different specialized degrees, people need to start their own businesses. That's not the answer. The answer is that billionaires are hoarding wealth. And this system is set up to fail. And I'm just infuriated by it. I can't get ahead. Every month I try to get ahead and I can't get ahead. And I don't know how to cope with that. I don't know how to cope with that. Everything is so expensive, especially in the last 6 months. I can barely get by. So I don't know how I'm supposed to retain hope. Am I supposed to get a doctorate so that I can afford a studio apartment? Is that where we're getting to at this point? I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's so fucking bad. And I just wanted to get on here and tell you, if you are experiencing the same thing, you're so not alone. Everything is so expensive and it's infuriating to me.
Wagwan family, welcome back to my YouTube commentary. Now, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your presence because what you are doing, it is shaping the entire system, okay? Because shift is happening, and right now I've seen black people rising, Africans are rising, and that's what is making me happy. Now, right now across America, white people are breaking down. They are crying, okay? They are panicking, man. And let me tell you, the reason why I've decided to do this video today is because I grew up knowing that white people, they never cry about economy. American dream is alive. But I just want my African people, to know the reality of how the land of honey and milk they think it is, how it is in reality, okay? The videos we are seeing of white people, the video we are seeing of them making videos regretting, saying that this is so bad, it shows the reality of the American dream, okay? Now, I'll say this. Everything black people warned white Americans about for decades, from racism, from injustice, from the economic collapse, very, very corruption of their so-called democracy has now come to pass. It is passing, and the truth is undeniable. Okay? Because let me tell you, when black people say that the economy is not made, that the system is not made for everyone, white people are like, you just work hard, just study hard. But right now, they are in debts. They cannot pay for gas. They cannot pay for groceries. So things is going down. It's going down for them. And this is a reality. And this is a reality check. It's evidence that black people never lied. It's evident that black people were never complaining too much. It's evident that black people, they were saying the truth. Okay? Now, before I continue with my commentary, which I want us to discuss, let's watch these clips of white Americans here, and then we'll come back with more commentary.
How are y'all saving money? Can someone please let me in on your secret? Because I cannot fucking save money for the life of me. I cannot do it. I try so hard to save money. This is what happens. I get paid every 2 weeks. So when I get paid, I'll pay bills and I put money into my savings account, okay? I put it in there and I tell myself, okay, I'm not going to touch it. I got to save this money, whatever. Well, I have 2 weeks till I get paid again. So it is always something. Every time I put money in my savings account, I have to get it out for something. But my family can't go without food. I can't go without gas. I'm not spending the savings account money on anything that's not a need. So what the fuck? How are you guys saving money? I just do not get it. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating living paycheck to paycheck. It's so frustrating worried about bills and making sure you're getting to work. Like, it's just fucking annoying being an adult. I hate being an adult sometimes. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have spent more time being a kid, because when I was a kid, I just wanted to be an adult. I grew up way too fast. And yeah, now that I'm an adult, I'm like, you stupid fucking bat. You should have fucking been a kid for longer.
I just need somebody else to tell me that they're living paycheck to paycheck and putting themselves into credit card debt out of necessity, not because of fun. I am 28 years old. I work a decent paying job. I love my job. I make good income. We have no kids, me and my fiance, and we're still barely scraping by. Our bills are paid, but we can't save any money. We can't go on vacation. I mean, we do little things here and there, but realistically, we don't really do anything. And we still live paycheck to paycheck, okay? I don't understand how people with kids are doing this. Props to y'all. I mean, seriously, the utmost respect, because I feel like I'm drowning and I only have cats. Any money that we're able to save ends up getting spent on the car, or the cat has to go to the vet, or one of us has a medical emergency. Like, it's just gone. It's gone. I don't understand. We don't live beyond our means. Are we all just collectively putting ourselves into debt because I don't know what else to do?
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living on the average American salary? I just watched a TikTok of a teacher who makes a teacher's salary. I don't know what state she's in, so I don't know how much she makes, but her one-bedroom apartment is $2,000. And when she spends $2,000 on that one-bedroom apartment, it doesn't even come with a washer and dryer. So she has to go pay an additional $2 every time she wants to use their washer and dryer. Okay, like, how does that leave her any extra money to spend? And then she said she had a $400 car payment, which some people were bashing her on that. But in today's economy with interest rates, that's really not that bad. And I'm sure she needs a dependable car. So you talk about teacher's salary, $2,000 in rent, $400 car payment. You got insurance, you got groceries, electricity. Like, I don't understand how people are affording life right now, and it really makes me sad for some people. You have people who are like her. She's single, she has her own salary, or families where it just works out best for them for the mother to stay home. And if the father is just making an average American salary, how are they affording life without going in a bunch of debt? This lady who's a teacher started crying because she said she realizes on her salary and where she lives, she will actually end up in more debt. Then, like, she will just continue to accrue more debt and more debt and more debt because her salary is not matching the cost of living. And what's sad is I've seen people be like, just spend less. Listen, guys, the cost of living is rising and our salaries are stagnant, okay? So there's not just spend less. That's not the problem here. The problem is the cost of living is outrageous, and minimum wage in some states is still $7.25. Teachers in some states are still paid a ridiculously low salary, even though their job is super important. I don't know what we can do about this, but I'm just going on a rant because it really, really pisses me off.
I don't understand. We don't live beyond our means. Are we all just collectively putting ourselves into debt because...
Yep, that's exactly what a lot of us are experiencing right now in this moment. I am 32 years old. I have a minimum wage job, which is basically the only job that I'm qualified for because I did not go to college, I did not go to any kind of vocational school, and frankly, I'm too disabled for any of that. I am on government assistance, I'm on SNAP, I am on state-sponsored insurance. I'm very slowly starting the process of trying to get on disability pay to try and hopefully bridge some of the gaps of money that I need. But yeah, I am living paycheck to paycheck, and even the paychecks that I am getting are not covering all of my expenses. Mind you, I don't need to expense for food because I'm on SNAP, and I am still barely covering bills, utilities, and rent. And I'm not out here buying luxuries for myself. A luxury for myself is if I decide to buy myself a candy bar at the gas station. I'm currently, not only am I currently in the process of trying to get on disability, but I am also in the process of trying to find a second job, and it is going as well as you can expect. I have sent out probably anywhere between 50 and 100 applications to different jobs and have heard crickets from all of them. Because every fucking place wants 2 to 3 years experience, which you can't get if they don't fucking hire you for the job in the first place. Even if you are able to commute to the location, they want you to have your own vehicle, which I cannot afford. I am 100% reliant on public transport. I can get to most places through public transit because I thankfully live in one of the few cities in the entire United States where the public transit is actually not complete ass. They want you to have unlimited flexibility in your schedule, but fucking gods forbid if you get sick, or if you have a particularly painful period day, or you just do not have the energy to work that day. They will bitch and moan and throw a fucking piss fit about you calling off or switching your shift. And again, I am barely making my bills and rent. I'm currently owe my landlord utilities, at least $50 in utilities, and I still don't get paid for another fucking week. And literally every single cent of that paycheck is going to go to utilities and rent. That is it. I will have nothing left over for myself. My mental state is declining every single fucking day because I am struggling to just survive. I am struggling just to live. I am struggling just to wake up in the morning every fucking day and not jump off a bridge. And I have friends, but all of my friends are in the same fucking boat. I have community, but my community is also fucking broke. I have been so blessed to have people who care about me, but they can't do anything to help me. Most of them live out of state from me, and the ones that do live in the same area as me are also struggling. They also have their own expenses, and they cannot help me. And that's one of the most frustrating things, I think, about people who talk about, like, building up community and, like, oh, we need to be building community safety nets, we need to be, like, helping each other, reaching out for help, blah, 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 blah. It's hard to build community and to have safety nets and reach out to one another when we're all in the same fucking boat. And maybe it's just me, I feel guilty. Myself, who is literally living paycheck to paycheck, I have $1.53 in my bank account right now, and I feel guilty whenever I pass by videos on TikTok of people reaching out asking for aid, because I can't offer anything. Like, I'll watch the video, I'll repost it, I'll put a comment, I'll try and boost it, but there is nothing else that I can do for anyone. And I'm gonna be perfectly fucking honest, that does also take a fucking toll on my mental health. Because I want to help. I want to give people stuff that I don't have. I don't know, because I have basic empathy and compassion, and I don't want anybody to suffer the way that I'm suffering currently. But I can't. There's literally nothing that I can do to help anybody because I can't even help myself. And yeah, I'm about $300 into credit card debt. And, I've been contemplating taking out more. Because ultimately, what does it fucking matter? What does it fucking matter if I'm severely in debt? I'm never going to be able to build up enough credit for anything substantial. I'm never going to be able to own my own place. I am renting a single ensuite bedroom in a house with 3 other people. And literally, my paycheck, again, barely covers the rent on that. A single room with a bathroom. And I can barely afford that, let alone the utilities that I also have to pay on top of that. Now, luckily, my landlord is very generous. We've worked out a system because I get paid every other week. We've worked out a system where I pay half the rent, as close to the first of the month as I can, and another half as close to the middle of the month as I can. Whenever my paycheck hits, almost all of it goes immediately to them. And like I said, this month I'm still $50 behind on utilities. And I'm stressing and struggling. I made a video on here the other day where I was going to sell my Nintendo Switch in order to get money to pay off those bills. I went to the fucking game resale shop where I was going to sell it, and they are currently not giving cash for anything like a Nintendo Switch. They literally could not give me any money. They could only give me store credit. Because it's the off season right now. People aren't buying video games. They're going outside and enjoying life outside. Must be fucking nice. So yeah, you're not alone. We are all struggling. All of us are struggling. Nearly all of us are living paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by, barely able to feed and clothe ourselves and have the bare minimum basic necessity. A friend of mine the other day fucking bought mouthwash for me and pimple patches because I could not afford to get those for myself, even though I clearly need them. Like, and he couldn't really afford that either. Like, I want to be mad at him for wasting his money on me, but he just doesn't want to see me struggling, even though he himself is struggling. Shout out to Avery. You are insane, but I love you. I've convinced myself so far that if I can make it through this year, if I can make it to this tax season and get my tax return, I might be okay. But we are still in August, and again, I am struggling to meet rent and utilities every month. I'm currently trying to sell my Nintendo Switch on Craigslist, and that's going about as well as you can expect. And after that, I have nothing else of value that I can sell. The only other things that I have that are of any value are my phone and my computer. And at bare minimum, I need my phone for communicating, working, all of that stuff. And I really kind of need my computer to do like job searches and make resumes and stuff like that. Not to mention, if I were to get a job in a field that I want, which is a work from home job, like my computer would be a necessity in order to do my job. So I don't want to throw the baby out with bathwater and sell my computer in order to make ends meet, because I might need it. So yeah, you are not alone. We are all suffering. All of us are suffering. The vast majority of us are suffering. And if you're not suffering, maybe drop a friend a Cash App. I don't know.
Welcome, family. Now, we have been talking about the American dream, but I want it to enter into our mind, mostly our African people who think that it is always greener on the other side, okay? This video is for you. It's not much for Black Americans, because Black Americans knew about this. They know what's happening. I see my brothers here. They are like, okay, they are selling their land, selling property so that they can get air ticket just to go on this promised land, because they are told when you are here, you get jobs, you get this, you get car, it's a nightmare. Okay? Now, the white imagination was sold with fantasy that if you work so hard, you will buy a house. If you get a job, you will live your perfect life. Okay? But Black people are living in reality. Black families saw their neighborhood redlined. Black families saw their jobs in families, their people being denied jobs. You know? They saw housing discrimination. They saw police brutality. They saw mass incarceration. Okay? They saw the first hand of oppression. And they knew the dream was not dream. Okay? And a careful crafted illusion is what this was. Illusion. The dream was just an illusion. Okay? They were denied jobs because of the skin color. So they know what it means of this American dream. Okay? But right now, white America are realizing it too, but they are realizing it the hard way. Inflation is crashing their households, wages are stagnant, college debts is drowning their children, healthcare is unaffordable, and Suddenly they are facing the very weight black Americans has carried for generations. The truth is black people weren't victims. They were survivors. But for white American to survive this, it's a nightmare because, you know, being grown up in a soft life, being grown up, you can access everything easily without being asked questions, without being followed in the supermarkets, in the grocery stores. And suddenly things change. Suddenly you cannot afford gas. Suddenly you cannot go somewhere. The security is bad. It tastes different. And that's what is happening to my white Americans. I understand them. Understand why they are crying. They are not faking. It is hard. It's not that black Americans are not facing it. It's not that other groups like brown people are not facing the reality check, or are not facing the hardship of what is happening in America. But it's that brown people, black people, they have been surviving. Okay? They have been surviving. But these other, my brothers and sisters, it is so hard. I can feel them. Let me talk about DJT a little moment. Okay? When DJT came to the scene lately, black Americans immediately warned. They warned that this man is very, very dangerous. They warned about the conmanship. They warned that he does not care about anyone, whether you're poor white, working class white, black, brown. He doesn't care about you. He just cared about the elites, okay? But they ignored this. I was there during elections, during campaigns. I was going through my social media and I was seeing how black people are warning. And even Latinos said, you know what, I will vote for Donald Trump. You know, they made songs and it was like, wow, okay, you want him, you got him. But what is happening to them is something different. Look, even right now, the jobs are disappearing. He promised to bring jobs back to white people, but jobs are disappearing because of the economy. Economy is collapsing. The healthcare is under attack. Their farmers are bankrupt. The families are splitting apart because it is too much. It is too much to handle, okay? Right now, their country is a global embarrassment. I don't know if you know that. Okay, it's not that the country has fallen because black people are still there. And where black people are, there's hope that this is going to rise, okay? But it's not rising for them again. It is rising for the black fraternity. So the same white America who mocked the black warnings are sitting down and saying, we didn't know. They're creating videos saying that will be this, be bad. Like, black people knew, black people saw it. But you know, black people, truth to be said, have already survived a lot of presidents, have survived police, have survived policies, have survived systematic designed to crash them, okay? So it is not new to black Americans. This ain't new. Africans move from here, they go there, they come back crying like it is bad. But for black people, black Americans, it's like, okay, we got it. You want to take us back to the farms. We know what you're doing. We are not falling for this. And they continue, okay? And for years, black people say that America runs on exploitation, okay? And this has been shown openly when the Trump policies of deporting migrants came to pass. Now white farmers are crying there's no one to work on their farms because those who are working on their farms on cheap labor were immigrants. They were exploited. Now they are nowhere to be seen, okay? So the factories are gone. The jobs has been shipped overseas. The dollar is weakening. The debt is, I have seen the dollar today, for example, in Kenya. The dollar is weakening, okay? And the debt is unimaginable. And guess who is panicking right now? It is the white middle America. They are panicking, not elite. Black people have been knowing the system of capitalism in America was rigged. They knew it was a pyramid where the top feeds of the bottom. And that's why black communities build alternative economies, barbershops, beauty salons, Black Wall Street, informal economies, how, just name it. Okay? White America never thought they would need survival skills. Like, for example, for you to live in Kenya, let me give you an example of my country. You need to have some different skills. You need to know carpentry. You need to be a mason, a farmer. You need to have different skills so that if these white-collar jobs, they call it white. I don't know why they're calling these white-collar jobs. When it goes down, then you go back to the hustle. We have survival tactics. And it is hard. It's hard to black people. Now, there's a video I saw of a white South African. I'll call the white South African poor who are homeless. And there was an interview of a black lady. She was being interviewed and she was saying that, man, I see these white South Africans suffering and I'm like, oh, my heart's going down because they can't handle it. You know, they cannot handle it. But for us, black people, it is cool. Yeah. She was like, for us black people, we're surviving on it. We got it. But for them, I feel sorry for them. This is not hard on black people because black people have survival tactics. Black people have jungle moves. Black people have desert moves. They can survive in each and every situation. One, the melanin is okay. It can survive everywhere. Two, we have been surviving from the womb of our mothers. Our mothers are going to farm with us in the stomach. They are walking long distance looking for water with us in the stomach. So we have been surviving, man. Okay? White Americans never thought they will need this because they have been sold this lie of the dream. They have been sold this lie of the privilege and they have been surviving on privilege. But do you know DJT is showing what the supremacy is? He doesn't care. He is for the elites, okay? And white people are breaking down because their illusion is shattering down. Black people aren't breaking down. Black people have been strong and they are strong, resilient and prepared. So when housing collapsed, black people have already lived through housing discrimination. When jobs disappeared, black people have already fueled side hustle. When police violence raw, people had already been fighting police brutality for centuries. So it's white America that it is in shock. It is white America that is panicking because they are experiencing for the first time what black people have been saying for centuries. Okay? And this for centuries that white America lived in comfort. Okay? They live in comfort. And what we are seeing is the fall of white comfort because they lived believing that the system was built for them and it will protect them forever in any way. They lived with blind faith that American institutions were stable. Okay? But the cracks are now too wide to ignore. The cost of living is skyrocketing. Groceries are expensive. Fuel prices are unstable. And the healthcare cost can wipe out the entire family savings. They are making videos here saying that they don't even have savings. They cannot afford to save anything. And white people, they were once proud homeowners. Right now, they are losing their houses to foreclosure. College graduates are drowning in students' loans. They can't be repaid. You know, they give you loan as a student and you live on paying this loan. That's it is modern day slavery. You are still in chains, but in different ways. Okay? But the bitter truth is that black people want them. Black people say this country does not love you either. Okay? And the black prophets were ignored for all through the history. Black voices spoke truth to power, but they were ignored. For example, Martin Luther King Jr. warned about capitalism and racism destroying America from within. What do? They unalived him. Malcolm X told America that chickens would come home to roast. The oppression abroad and oppression at home will destroy the empire. They silenced him. Angela Davis, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, name all of them. Fannie Lou, Hammer. They all spoke of the dangers of blind patriotism and racial inequalities. Yet America dismissed them. Like they say they are radicals. Okay? Now, everything they warned about has arrived. Endless wars abroad, economic decline at home, political chaos, social collapse, and suddenly white America is digging up those same speeches and saying, they are right. Now we are seeing the speeches are being digged. Okay? But why did America ignore black warnings from the start? It's because admitting the truth meant admitting privilege. It meant that recognizing that the system was not fair, not just, or not equal. It's like, okay, you have admitted, so what next? Pay us reparation. Instead, they chose denial. They closed the chapter. They chose to believe that America was perfect, the racism was exaggerated, that black people were just bitter. But denial can only last so long. You can only ignore a fire for as long before the flame reach your own house. And now white America house is burning. Their denial has turned into despair. Okay? Their arrogance has turned into confusion, and their once unshakable faith in the system has turned into fear. And they have fear of losing power. That's another reason why white America is breaking down. The fear of losing power. The demographic are changing. Black people, Latino, Asians, and native communities are growing. Okay, interracial families are rising. Gen Zs are more multicultural, more vast, more open-minded than any generation before. So the old system of the white dominance is cracking. White people are the children, or are white people see their children embracing black culture. They are embracing black music like hip-hop, embracing African culture and black excellence. They see the next generation questioning police. Okay? They see the next generation, the white Gen Zs, questioning the government and questioning their own parents, questioning their own culture. And so many white Americans are terrified, not just of poverty, not just because of the collapse, but they are terrified because they are losing control, they are losing cultural dominance, they are losing their identity as the unquestionable or unquestioned rulers of America. But what they don't realize in this is that black people never wanted to take over. Black people, they wanted just fairness, truth, liberation. But white America mistook justice for revenge. And now they fear the future that they themselves created. Okay? And I'll say this. History is repeating itself. Every empire that rose on lies and oppression eventually is falling. Rome, Britain, France, and now America falling. Look at France. Africans, West African countries are now questioning France. One-on-one with France. Tell us. Okay? They are now questioning France. Black people, more than anyone, understood this circle of history that is repeating itself because they were forced to study survival movements. Okay? But white America, however, is experiencing this shock for the first time. They believed their empire would last forever, that their skin color guaranteed them safety. But now the mirror of history is showing them the truth. You know one thing, for generations, we had something we call white privilege. But now white privilege is turning into pain. And, let me just give you an example of a country called Rwanda. We had two tribes, and one tribe was a ruling tribe. They had privilege, and then the privilege turned into pain someday. I don't want to go into that, but for all those who know the story of Rwanda, they can tell. Privilege turning into pain. It has been happening in most of African countries. A leader takes power, his tribe has the privilege, but when the privilege ends, something else is. Even in Kenya, we had a tribe, they have been in power for so long and having this privilege, economic privilege and everything. But right now, whenever we have a different leader from another tribe, the privilege ended, they are feeling the pain of them. And that's what is happening in white American right now. For generations, white privilege gave them comfort. Okay? It gave them access to wealth and opportunities that black people were denied. But what happens when the privilege runs out? We are seeing this video of them crying. That's what is happening, okay? We are seeing their whiteness does not protect them from the inflation. It does not protect them from the economic downfall. It does not shield them from the medical debt. It doesn't stop the foreclosure notices. So the breakdown is hitting them harder. It's not that black people are not going through the same, but it's hitting white Americans harder than anyone else. Right now it's from mockery to mimicry. For decades when black people say that the system is broken, they were mocked. But right now, white people are the ones protesting, the ones marching against government corruption, are the ones creating videos saying that the system is not fair, the system is not made for them. So the irony is thick. The same people who said get a job are now unemployed. You see what's happening? And that is God of black people in action. The reality of racism is being exposed in my time. I never knew I will live to see a day like this. I never imagined I will live to see a day that people who are in the dreamland crying. The dream is too bitter to swallow. Sometimes you may sleep and you dream about being chased away by a lion. And you wake up, you are tired. That's how the dream of America is it right now. And all this American dream, I think they never knew or they never understood that you only dream when you are asleep. So this dream of good life is only, you will get it when you are asleep. But when you are open eyes, you have to work. That's what Americans are doing. They work, pay bills, work, pay bills, work, pay bills, work, pay bills. That's what they are doing. And even if they pay for the house loan, they can never own the house. It is still a government property. Do you know the reason why they give student loans? They are finding a reason to keep you attached to them. They are finding a reason for you not to move away from America. And it's happening even to white people. I always tell my white working class people or the poor white people, we are the same. You and black person and brown person, we are the same. Because the system is not for you. The system is for the elite only. You hear me? Now, I hope I've said something on this. Okay, let's continue watching these videos. And I appreciate so much for you being here. Make sure you subscribe. And for those who are sending super thanks, thank you so much. Until next episode, peace out. I know I have a lot to say, a lot to say, but I gotta do something a little bit. I gotta dig some history somewhere. Thank you.